I'm an artist born in China and now living in Australia. And my art is mainly focused on the human rights issues around China. And for making art about commentating and challenge the Chinese government, I have been subject to all kind of harassment and punishment and persecution. But this is my life and this is my choice. In the beginning of the film, you will see that every detail of my personal traits has been hid. There's always filming behind me. We even cover my ear. We never show my fingerprints. We were thinking to hiring an actor to play out my voice, to avoiding the voice recognition. If I have to show myself in public, I'll wear a mask, that I will dress up as a woman. And I have to admit, wearing dress is pretty comfortable. But all this precaution is for me to hide myself. And in the end, it's quite a surprise for anyone, also a surprise to me that I'm no longer be able to hide my identity and the Chinese government has learned who I am. So actually, the big decision is, how do we end this film? Or do we even release the film? But I'm glad I made this decision that I choose to show my face to the public, and so that I can continue my art. Well, now I'm experiencing all the harassment to me personally, including I've been followed in Australia. I have death threats on a daily basis on social media. My internet got attacked. Even the film director is followed and having strange cars parking outside of his residency. So this is definitely not a very smart choice. But like artist I always said, our society needs dumbass to step out. And it's meaningful to have people to do stupid things before good cause. And that makes me want to, make this decision and show my face. I guess only bad art is influenced by the power. The good art is always challenged. It's trying to capturing the reality. It's trying to challenge the narrative from the power. And art is definitely a great way to be a start point of any meaningful social discussion and possibly social change as well. My take on the coronavirus, I would like to bring the issue back to the root of it, which is the censorship, that delaying the Chinese government to react on controlling the virus, and eventually it grow into a global crisis that we are facing now. And it's very important to find who is responsible for this policy. And of course, it will be the leader of China. It will be the supreme leader, Xi Jinping. And I think it's very important to break the numbers and the statistics that we always learn from news. And I guess I want to use my art to bring those numbers to actual face of the people who are influenced by this virus, who are destroyed by this virus, who are responsible for outbreak of this virus. So I created a lot of portraits, which including the whistleblower Dr. Li Wenliang, who passed away recently, including the Chinese President Xi Jinping, and including other people who are suffer from this virus. So Wuhan Diary is a project that I recently developed, and it's a collaboration with a lot of people. One of the most important people or person is this resident living in Wuhan under the quarantine. We have to understand this lockdown is not just physical. The Chinese government is also tightening control of the information circulating in China, especially regarding the situation of the virus. So people do not really have a voice to telling the world what's going on. And if people dare to do so, they're facing high risk. They will be persecuted and punished by the police swiftly. So I am helping these residents to become his or her voice. I don't know the author's gender, because that probably would be the safest for the author. But I mean, I'm already facing the risk myself. So I choose to be his or her voice and tell the world what is going on. I think censorship is naturally the enemy to any art creation, because it stops people to discuss or touch or exploring certain area. But art is about freedom. Art is about break the limitation. So we are naturally born a pair of enemy to each other between art and censorship. But it's not necessary that censorship will kill all the art. And sometimes you see very interesting innovation created within artwork because of censorship. They're pushing you to do content which is new to the censorship. And we have to learn about how the censorship works for the contemporary circumstance. For example, in China, online censorship is actually called the Great Firewall, but it is based on some kind of database, which means it can only censor old content. I did a street art piece in the Halsey Lane in Melbourne, and that site actually turned into a memorial site for him. People starting to bring flowers and candles and letters to him. And I just see, what if I can bring this to other corner of the world, to other city of the world, so people have a place to remember him. So the Chinese government plan of eliminate his existence will not be successful. So I put the file online on the Google Drive, and so everybody can download it. Then this image has been recreated in a lot of major cities around the world, including New York, Ottawa, in Irish as well, in Hong Kong, even in Beijing. Some brave residents there downloaded it and put it in the street of Beijing. So that's how powerful it is. But I think all of this is kind of inspired by artists like Ai Weiwei, who is the pioneer to using internet as not just as a showcase, but also as a creative space. Now, given the circumstance of this world, given what happened to China, to America, to Brexit, to refugee crisis, I think artists should review the notion of art itself. We should no longer be satisfied that art is only for the sake of art. Art is about the reality. Art is about reflecting the very topic that we care about. And I want to say to the world that I want to use this diary publishing online as a way to redefine what art is. I think there are a lot of excellent inspiration from history. For example, like Francis Gore's paintings always play a very important role in my creation. I believe that art have a role to recording the human condition or human struggling through the history. And artists like Goa or German expressionist artist Cassie Korwitz, artists like that will always have a position in history because they use their brush to talk for the people who do not really have a voice, to supporting them with their artistic expression. For the contemporary artists, I think my biggest inspiration will be the Chinese artist Ai Weiwei. He did so many interesting work that is rooted in China's struggle and China's political condition as well. And he's also very smart because he used language of contemporary art to convey this idea to more people, not just the ones who are suffer from this regime, but also to the ones who are living outside of China.